Hello, welcome to Clarity Design. We are about to start on learning about rigging, and in this tutorial I just want to have a look at the parent-child relationship and how we can make use of them. I've got a basic model set up here. You can see here the structure is very simple. We've just got each of the objects named sensibly, and they have no relationship to each other, so each of them has their own pivot points which is centralized on that item. At the moment, if we wanted to try and animate this so that it bent over or something along those lines, this would be really awkward to do. So we'd have to animate the rotation, but also we'd have to try and animate the move, and invariably we're going to end up with things not working out for us. So I suppose the first thing to learn is how to move a pivot point, and if you find insert on your keyboard, you will switch between the normal manipulator and the pivot point moving manipulator. I'm just going to go to front view so that I can see clearly where I'm putting this. So I'm going to go to insert and I'm going to move that down just using that arrow, and again I'm going to do the next one, insert, move that down and press insert again to go back, this one we're not going to move. So they're the only two pivot points I'm going to move. So this is set up now. Immediately that means that when I rotate this object here, it's going to rotate. It's going to look like it's rotating around that ball joint there. So that works quite nicely for us now. The only problem is that if I rotate this one, the rest of them won't rotate normally with it, and actually if I select all of them, it's not going to work out for me either. So I need some way of grouping these together. Now, making a group is quite a good start, so let's select all of it and press Ctrl G. That puts everything into a group. I'll just call this mod. So everything is inside this group. So if I want to select everything and to move it around all together, I've now got a handle which will do that, which is separate from any of the other pivot points. So I've got all the other pivot points, you can see, are different from that one. And when I click this one, it goes all of them. That's not the same as selecting like this. When I do a marquee selection, it selects all the parts of the group, but not the group. That's a different selection. So you have to click in the outliner to select the group. So you have to be a little bit aware of that. Now, the first thing I want to do is have a parent-child relationship. So let's start off. This is going to be the parent. So base 1 is going to be the parent. I'm going to middle click and drag that to the top of the list. So base 1, so it makes sense. Base 2, I want to be the child of this parent. So I'm going to middle click and drag that onto base 1. And you'll see that this tree symbol starts to appear, and I can plus and minus it. So now if I click on base 1, I have to have base 2 selected. But if I click on base 2, base 1 doesn't have to be selected. This is the parent-child relationship. Okay, so wherever the parent goes, the child has to go. The child can move by itself. Wherever the parent goes, the child has to go. Okay, so moving up, let's have a look at this ball joint. Let's make that the child of base 2. So now if I select base 1, it's got all three, and if we go out of here, we've got it there. The midpoint here, I want that to be the child of the bot joint. And again, let's expand that, make that the child again, and then the last one here. Okay, Control Z. That does just show the point actually that you can have more than one child underneath a parent. So now I've got my hierarchy set up. So if I rotate this ball joint, for example, if I stick that on rotate, it's going to rotate all the ones at the top. Let's watch this in action very quickly. So frame 1, we press S to set it where it is, and then we can move on to frame 5 and we will rotate it down a little bit and press S, and then let's move on to frame 10 and we'll move up our chain to the next ball joint, and we can rotate that one round, and we can press S, and it doesn't matter that we haven't got any other keyframes here. and then we move it to a later frame. Oh, sorry, we should have done that. Let's just move that back to 7 because I should have keyframed it when it was straight. Let's just 0 those rotations out and press S there. Okay, so that's fine. Alright, so we can see our arm in action now. Okay, so you can see how a parent-child relationship allows us to start generating almost a joint chain, being able to animate things with a lot more ease than we would have done before. This simple structure is really, really important when it comes to starting to rig and understanding how to rig up a character ready for animation.